you went to school and what you studied.
So Tara, I did my schooling in a place called Kerala in India,
Uh,
and that's the southernmost state of India, and I studied there for about uh, until my graduation, the bachelor's degree. So I completed my bachelor's degree in that place in my hometown before I moved to Bangalore, which is more of Uber city in India, for my master's. So I did my bachelor's in mathematics, and then I moved on to Bangalore to do my master's in advertising and communication research.
okay, wow. So did you go right away to your master's?
Yes, so it was, I think I completed my master's in 2006. And yeah, so immediately after my bachelor's, I continued to do my master's, and then I started my job hunt.
Okay. So what was the transition from after you finished your master's? How was that leaving academia and going into industry?
It wasn't easy,
Yeah.
Tara, I would say, because the theoretical knowledge, academic knowledge that you get while doing your course, and the knowledge and the experience that you require to be in the industry is totally different. Right. Of course, I mean, you have theoretical knowledge and background, but at the same time, you need practical exposure, more knowledge and skills to be successful in the industry. So, and on top of that, my college didn't have a lot of campus placement opportunities. So I had to do the job hunt on my own. That made it a little more difficult.
Mhm.
So yeah, then it was a more of an organic process, a natural process where I tried to look for job opportunities, and finally I found something with a business research firm, which was more of a part of academia than the industry. So it was close to what I studied and my skills, the writing skills, the research skills that I needed. So the transition wasn't that difficult at that point in time. But at the same time, as I said, the skills, knowledge you require, and being at the workplace where all the people are new faces, right? So the transition, the change, that was slightly difficult to handle, but with support from your family, your friends, your colleagues at the workplace, right? You survive that.
Mhm. So going off of that, we really want to get to know. We want to pull out any like lessons that you have or from your experiences. So I'm wondering, maybe during that transition or while you were in industry, what was one of the your like toughest moments, and then how did you like push through?
Uh, I remember the toughest moment was moving from academia to corporate sector. So in my first company in the business research firm, I worked for about 2 years before I got an opportunity to work with Yahoo.com. That was a big change for me. It was one of the biggest companies in India, and it was a big change for me at that point in time. So uh, again, it was in 2008, which is the year is famous for the recession, right? So somehow I was able to crack the interview and got an appointment letter with Yahoo, but my joining date was delayed. That was worrying me a lot because it was the time of recession, and people were unsure about the hiring or the company's future, right? Generally in the industry. And the digital marketing space, it was going through a lot of changes after the dot-com bubble, right? There were a lot of changes, there were a lot of new learnings, new technology that was coming up at that point in time. So it w- it was a time of uncertainty, but finally it worked out. Though it worked out finally, the initial days wasn't easy because the company was still going through a lot of changes. The industry was going through a lot of changes. So there's still some uncertainty around my role, my transition, what our process could be, right, or what kind of specific roles and responsibility I would be fulfilling. So there were a lot of uncertainties around that. Uh, One thing that helped me really at that point in time was open communication with my seniors or my manager, which really helped me survive that those changes, and also having strong belief in your skill set, right, and being open minded, understanding that the changes are something that you need to cope up at every stage of your life. So that kind of an understanding, having confidence in your own abilities, and also seeking help and support from the people around you, whether your friends, family, or colleagues at the new workplace. A combination of all of those factors help me sail through that change.
Mhm. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I think communication is so powerful. So having that open communication with your senior, with your mentor, definitely I think is beneficial. Um, so there is one last question that I like to ask everybody, and it kind of ties into your last answer. But if there was like one piece of advice or a lesson that you would want to tell yourself back then when you were graduating and going through it, and that you would want to share with everybody, what would that be?
Uh, Again, I would say being open minded, having an open mindedness towards everything, the skills, the learning, the opportunities that's ahead of you is definitely helpful. Sometimes what happens is you have some theoretical knowledge and your past experience, right? While what you've gained through some of the projects that you have worked on while studying, or maybe like some inputs or tips that you've gotten from people around you, mentors at that time, right? So sometimes you end up holding on to them or sticking to those things, which restricts your ability to learn something new, to explore something new, which is always the need for anyone, right? Where, as I said, right, to the industry is evolving, the new opportunities for you to explore new learnings that you have, right? So having that open-mindedness, right, and be ready to explore the things ahead of you, the new things ahead of you, and give it a try. Always someone has said that just show up and learn, right? Experience it, right? So those things always really help you, right? Being there, exploring, learning, right? Being open-minded about things around you always helps. So that would be one piece of advice that I would like to give.
Thank you so much. I think definitely with this pandemic going on too, we need to be open minded to new ideas or new ways of doing things. So that's a really good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Rupesh, thank you so much for being on the call today. Um, I really enjoyed interviewing you and hope to interview you again